In this lesson, we're going to talk about a place that I like to personally get started in strategic planning, which is looking back at the year we just had. So, Allie and I just went through this process of reviewing all of our 2018 numbers, 2017 numbers, looking back as much as we have, and then setting up the plans we have for the future. But it started with reviewing what had happened in the past and seeing if we were happy with that. Did that work out well or not? So, a couple of things that I want you to focus on. You can look through the number of clients or customers that you've had over the past year. Look through your revenue or profitability, whichever one of those things you're really trying to grow. Figuring out your audience growth. Has that been going well? Has that been struggling? Is that something that you'd like to focus on more? But kind of just looking back at what you've had. You can look at your spending, and then finally you can look at the non-measurables. We'll talk a little bit about each of these things specifically. So if you're thinking through your number of clients that you have, who are your top 10 customers and clients? Do you know who that is? Do you understand how much they spend with you every year? Do you know if those relationships are good? Do you think they'll keep working with you? Things like that. Understanding what your average or median revenue is per customer. So if you get a new customer, do you know what that's worth to your business? What is that number? Are you happy with that number? Do you want it to go up? Do you want to increase the number of people you have? Things like that. Are your customers and clients tend to follow the 80-20 principle, where 80% of revenue comes from 20% of your customers or clients? And then what's the total number of clients that you have? So just understanding are those numbers, not even judging them, but just understanding those things. So it can take a deep dive. So what we do every year, you can see here, is we work through, I update this every quarter, but I have a document that has every client that this is just an export that I create from our bookkeeping system. So it has every client that we have. It has how much revenue they spent with us over a given amount of time, and then it has the percentage of total that client is. So these numbers are from, I think, 2016, 2017. Yeah, 2017. So you can see the total number of customers was really high. That includes all of our workshop attendees, so 594. Total amount of revenue, what's the median, what's the average, all of that stuff. So I take who's the top 10, how much does that make up? So our top 10 customers made up 43% of our revenue. Top 20% of customers made up 95% of our revenue. So these are just things, there's not good or bad. Every business is different and has different things. A lot of different people will tell you that your business needs to look a certain way, but you can have a very lucrative, fun, creative, successful business with only 3 clients or customers. Or you can have a really lucrative business by not making that much for every customer. So there's a lot of different ways that this can be organized. But first off is just understanding where you are. So you can think of this as maybe a scoreboard or something, just telling you kind of what's your progress look like, what does the status of your relationships look like currently. Understanding audience growth. You could just look at email list size, how many people are following you on social media, or what kind of website traffic that you have. So this is the Wonder GM's website traffic over the past year. We screwed up our analytics, and when we built our new site, we don't have old analytics the way we'd like to, which is fine. But we can just look at that, saying this is what our website traffic is. Is there any correlation to the high months and the number of inquiries we get? All of that stuff. It's just understanding what's going on. You don't have to judge it good or bad, but just knowing what's happening. Understanding your financials, so understanding your revenue, understanding your spending, and then understanding your profitability. All of those things, if you're doing a good job of keeping track of your finances, are pretty easy to understand if you just put together an income statement. So we use Xero, Xero, for our bookkeeping, but QuickBooks is great too. If I was starting over today, I'd probably use QuickBooks. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. Some people I know use Wave accounting. Some people use all different sorts of things. Not a big deal, but being able to pull these up and be able to read through this, understand what's going on, is just a good way to get a feel for where your business is at. Allie and I sat through and we reviewed all of this stuff before we even made any of our 2019 plans. It was just to understand what's going on. And then there's some things that I would say are non-measurables or intangibles. Are you happy with the level of mastery that you have? Are you happy with your level of happiness, fun, balance, independence? Do you feel like you're on a mission? Are you happy with the work that you're doing, the difference and impact that it's making? Do you want more creativity? Do you want less creativity? Do you want more predictability? Like, what are those things that you want to see happen in your business? And sometimes when we're setting goals, people can focus so much on measurable, time-based, results-focused goals, but really, when we get frustrated with life, it's just us sitting there saying, I just feel, I feel trapped, or I feel like this isn't fun anymore, or something like that. That's like when we get frustrated. And so what does it look like to have those type of things integrated into our goals? I include this photo because for a while, Allie and I thought we would be smart to do wedding photography. So there's been 2 weddings that we photographed in our life. So this is one of them, and we did it once, and we were like, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't fun. Not that it was bad. We still chat with that couple. There's cool people. We got to hang out with one of our friends, Cece, who helped us out on it, and we had it was cool, but we just didn't want to do that anymore. And it was an intangible thing. We just wanted to see happen. So for you, I want you to, you can open up a Google Doc. You can, if you have a journal or a piece of paper and pen next to you, just start writing, start investigating, go back through, figure out what's the current state of what's going on. Where have things been? Where are they coming? And you might feel like your business isn't big enough, but maybe it's grown a lot in a certain way. And it's cool to understand what's working, what's not. And we're going to talk a little bit about that more in the next lesson. So you can hop in the comments below if you'd like, any questions you have, or let me know if there's anything as you're digging through and observing. Jump in there and let us know if you found out anything cool, any cool data. I was floored when I did this report last year and I found out we had 594 individuals, customers who had paid us money in some form. It was a lot. It's overwhelming. So I'd love to hear if you find anything interesting as you investigate your own business. Peace.